In this video we are going to repair this Wii U Pro controller which has joystick drift. Joystick drift can occur on any controller, and the first signs of this occurring is when a character starts moving without the player putting any input into the joystick. Before replacing the whole joystick, tear down the controller and clean the joystick with some IPA or contact cleaner. If this does not fix it, then a joystick replacement is most likely needed. I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to remove and install a new joystick, and show you the tools I use to remove the joystick easy and quick. All tools and equipment I use will be in the video description. So let's run down the tools and equipment I'll be using for this repair. We'll need a temperature adjustment soldering iron, an hot air rework station, rosin core solder wire, solder braid, flux, isopropyl alcohol, some metal tweezers, a plastic splugger, some cotton buds, a tri-wing screwdriver, a precision screwdriver, and finally the replacement joystick. So let's get on with the repair. So the first thing we need to do is we need to flip the controller over, and we are exposed to 4 screw holes. But first we need to remove the screw holding the battery cover using the precision screwdriver. The door should easily come off by tilting the controller, which will expose the battery, and 4 additional tri-wing screws that we need to remove. Let's first take the battery out. Using a plastic splugger, we can easily remove the battery and place it to one side. Next, we need to use our tri-wing screwdriver to remove the 8 screws holding the shell. With the 8 tri-wing screws removed, we can carefully pull apart both shells, exposing and giving us our first look inside the Wii U Pro controller. We then remove the L and R buttons. We take out the rumble and the L and R shoulder buttons out of their cradles. We next remove the 2 screws holding the main board down and the 2 screws holding the joysticks. With the screws now removed, we can carefully remove the main board away from the shell. We can now focus our attention on the joystick PCB and start the repair. So we have the PCB board here which has the joystick underneath. We have some supporting arms which are these crocodile clips holding the board, and what this is going to do is really help me to remove the joystick out, the broken joystick, without basically pulling and ripping pads, which then causes more problems because then you have to basically repair the pads or basically make new wire, jumper wires and that kind of stuff, and it's just a nightmare it is. We want to make the process as simple as possible. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So what we're going to do is I have my iron at 370 degrees. I have my hot air rework station at 400 degrees. And the reason why it's higher, the hot air rework station, is because we want to get these solder points more and as quick as possible and get the joystick out without basically burning the board. What we're going to do first is we're actually going to tin all of these points here that are holding the actual joystick. And what we're going to do first is, before we use the iron, we're going to actually use flux and actually put flux on every single point. So here we are. So I'm going to use some flux here. And the reason why I use flux is flux helps the solder to flow better, it does, and it's really simple. And where is it? to actually apply. You don't want to keep out on the flux. You want to get some really good flux, you do, because if you keep out on the flux, you're going to have mess all over your board and it's going to be a nightmare. So Amtech is the flux I used. There are other good brands out there as well, but yeah, as you can see, I've put quite a lot of flux on each of the pads I have, and I'm basically now going to tin each pad. I have my iron set to 360 degrees. I'm going to put my iron onto this point here, and I'm just going to tin it up. And as you can see, it starts covering the hole. Pretty simple, right? Let's do it again for this one. Here we go. Done. Do this one. Remember, we're not forcefully applying pressure to the board, or like literally applying pressure to it. We're just basically going onto the side and make it really simple like that. And just take your time. Remember, you're not this is just basically, it's possibly your first time actually doing this, and just take your time. There's no rush. If you rush it, more likely you're gonna cause cause an accident, or you're gonna rip on the pads. I mean, and it's gonna be more problems. Just take your time, slowly do it. And as you can see, I've got all the points now, basically with new solder over them, and that was that simple. It was pretty simple. That was. So we have that, we do, and I now am going to use my rework station, and as you can see, I've got my tweezers here. Remember, all the tools I'm using are going to be in the description section below, and what I'm going to do is, basically, as you can see, I've got my tweezers underneath where the joystick is, and I'm not going to pull at all. I'm just going to wait until all of these points go molten, and I'm going to be able to just take it out. It's just really simple, or sometimes it just falls out. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've got my rework station at 400 degrees and on a airflow of 5, and as you can see, I'm going around each point. I can actually feel the actual joystick getting loose. Just slowly take time. Here we are. There we go, and it's out. The board is going to be quite warm, so just basically let it cool down for a minute, and we'll get to it. But as you can see right here, there is the actual joystick, the broken one, and we're going to basically start the process, the next process of basically removing all this old solder and then getting the new joystick in. So let's start that right now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you what you need to do to basically wick up all of this old solder. So I've got my braid here, and I've got my soldering iron here. I'm going to put the braid here, and I'm going to put the iron on top of it. And as you can see, it's wicking it up. I'm not putting any pressure on it whatsoever. Let go. And if there's still solder there, just move the braid and go like that. And there we are. See? Now I've got 2 of the holes exposed. I need to go here, I do. And I need to go over here, I do. Go over more. And I need to go onto this one now. And remember, you're not applying any pressure whatsoever. You're letting the iron do the work. You are. So there we go. And sometimes a bit of solder goes onto that one. Don't worry, just put some things in it. Sometimes what you need to do is you might need to put your iron back, cut the braid that you've basically has all the solder on it, and then restart again. Okay, so let's go through it again. Remember, it's all about taking time, no rushing. And see, if I go here, and there's still some solder there, there's still solder there, and we're just making these pads as clean as possible. There we are. So, see, taking your time. There we are. You can see all that solder being whipped up by this braid. It's a really good braid, it is. There we are, all done. And that is looking really, really nice. Now, as you can see, this is just flux. As you can see right there, you can. And basically to wick all that up, we're going to basically, or not wick it up, basically clean it up. We're going to use some IPA, and we're just going to put some squirt of IPA in, and we're just going to wipe it. As you can see with cotton bud, we're slowly wiping away, cleaning up all of that wick. We are. It's looking really. There we go, and that's all cleaned up. You might sometimes need to put one more squirt in because there might be still a little bit of flux still on there. Just go through it, wipe it down, clean it, and there we go. Looking really nice. So, as you can see, all the points basically of all the solder been wicked up, and all these contact points now. And we have here the new joystick. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a way to do this. So let me take the arm off. I'm going to show you basically take the arms off. I'm going to show you, and then we can do it together. So here we have the upper side of the actual PCB. And here we have the actual joystick. How do we know how to fit it? I mean, what's the best way to know where it has to go? So there's 3 contact points here, and there is like a square of 4. There is. As you can see, if you look very carefully, there's 4, there's 3, and all you got to do is fit it in. Now, sometimes what's going to happen is some of the feet are not going to fit straight away, so you might need to like bend some of the feet in. Just be sure to bend it, and we're just gonna. There we go. And it just locks in like that, and that is in. That is in there. But what we need to do is, because we don't want the actual joystick to come out or actually have some gap. So I'll show you there. There we are. So let me show you. So look, as you can see, it's not fully on properly, and I'm going to show you what to do now. So I'm going to put flux on all of these points here. So what we're going to do is I've got my iron here, and I'm going to basically tin my iron. I'm going to put some solder, fresh solder in. I'm now going to go underneath with my fingers, and I'm going to push up iron, and I'm going to basically put my iron over this contact point here, and then I'm going to put another bit of solder onto this point here. And now, as you can see, it doesn't move. because what we've done is we've anchored 2 points together we have now. So it makes it a lot easier for us to now go over the next, the other solder pad, other pads, and without actually worrying that this is dropping out or anything like that. So we're now going to basically solder all of these points. Now we are. Are we ready? Okay. So I'm now going to show you how to basically put solder onto these pads. So I'm going to put my iron onto the contact point there, and I'm just going to put some solder in. Done. Pretty simple as. Let's do it for the next one. Sometimes you might have so much solder already on there that you actually don't need to actually put more solder onto your iron, but sometimes you do. I mean, it's just how it is sometimes. Okay. Exactly like that. Take time. There it is. I think that's actually 1 point, so you don't have to worry about that. And I've actually missed a solder point there. So let's just get over it and just put it over. There you go, done. And there we are. So that is the soldering we needed to do, all done. So what do we do now? We basically clean again with some IPA, get a new fresh cotton bud, go over all of the points together. As I said to you before, the first time it might not clean all of your points. So I'm just going to go over it again, one by one, clean it. And there we go. Leave that to dry for a minute, and then you have all your points, basically your new joystick now fitted to your PCB, and yeah, you're ready to go. All you got to do is refit reassemble your controller, and yeah, it's back up and running, working. And here is me playing Super Mario 3D World using my now fixed Wii U Pro Controller on the Wii U, and it's playing fantastic. I hope this video has helped you throughout the process of replacing your own joystick on your Wii U Pro Controller, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now.